being really, really good at technical analysis doesn't necessarily ensure that I will be a good trader. Now, that's what I got Steve Ward for it, because he will somehow link the bridge between what I know and what I'm actually able to execute. It's the old Liam Neeson scene with Christian Bale out on the pond in Batman Begins. You know, knowledge is nothing without the will to act. You've heard me say it many times before. I won't bore you to tears with it again, but nevertheless, I feel that oftentimes in the evolution of mankind, and especially our own personal journeys, there are things that we know, and then there's things that we do, and those two are not necessarily aligned. And I think from a personal point of view, but I think many of you will share that sentiment, that many of you know that you have within you the ability to be better traders. So I've come to the conclusion that the only way for me to do my job well is to attack it on all fronts. It means I have to make sure that I sleep well. I look after myself both physically and mentally. I make sure that I sleep well, I make sure that I eat well, but I also incredibly mindful of how I eat and when I eat. And I don't want to make this an exercise into diet, because I am not qualified to give that kind of guidance. However, I wonder if you can just imagine that you've just come from a lunch with a friend of yours and you've had the biggest bowl of pasta at that lush Italian restaurant around the corner where from you live, and then you're sat down for the US session. And about 30 minutes into the US session, no matter how volatile the Nasdaq is, you simply can't keep yourself awake because your blood sugars just dive through the floor. I will at all cost avoid something like that, because if there's something that it does, it kills my concentration. Now, that was the more personal front, but I've also grown incredibly cynical about technical analysis. Technical analysis in any form that you can think of. Higher highs, higher lows, double bottoms, double tops. And it's not that it doesn't work, because all of it works some of the time, but nothing works all of the time. A very famous trader called Tebet on a bulletin board called Avid Trader once said that, and I've always remember it because there was someone who was immensely qualified, immensely professional, but he also had to acknowledge that even though he had all the skills and all the expertise and all the trading hours in front of the screen, he too, he would face things that he hadn't seen before, or he simply was incapable of trading the market well that day. So I felt that in order for me to truly optimize my time in front of a screen, I actually had to be much more specific.